Now, guys, last year, San Diego State was a big story. Steve Fisher, of course, legendary coach from his Michigan days. Remember, he won a national championship in '89. A few years later, he had the Fab Five and back-to-back championship games. Then he goes to San Diego State, and they're like, wow, poor Steve Fisher. That's a bad basketball program. But the last couple of years, in fact, this is the third year in a row they're in the tournament. But remember last year, Kawhi Leonard's an All-American. They lose their top 4 scorers from a year ago. Everyone figured that's it for San Diego State. But no, San Diego State is not only back in the tournament this year, they're a 6th seed and expected to do more damage in the tournament once again. So we had a chance to talk to Steve Fisher when we asked him, hey, Coach, in light of everything going on, how you feeling?
I'm doing great. We are excited and feel privileged to be in the field. We earned our way in. First time ever we've been an at-large representative. We won 26 games, and as you said, with a lot of different folks doing things, and the ones that returned had a whole lot more responsibility to get us where we got to.
Hey, Coach, you turned my mic on there. I think I'd know how to do that by now. It's Pat. How are you, man?
Hello, Pat. I'm doing great, thank you.
Good to talk to you. By the way, a little confusion this year because there's 2 SDSUs.
I know, South Dakota State University, they also earned their way in. They're coached by Nagy, young Scott Nagy, who's the son of Dick Nagy, a longtime friend of mine who was Lou Henson's assistant at Illinois. So I go way back with Scott.
And they used to, those guys up there, I went to South Dakota, which is the, arch rival up there. But anyway, so every time I see
and you
SDSU,
hate San
Diego, I hate SDSU, but I
love
you.
Like Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah, exactly. Even worse so. You've been in this rodeo before. What do you think of your draw, and how good is this team now?
I think if being in the field, everybody looks and say, boy, we got a hard game.
Yeah.
And we do. We're playing a team that had to win 4 games down the stretch before Carolina nipped them in the semifinals to get into the tournament. And they are very talented, big, which scares me. They're not deep. They only play 7 players. But this is a good team that we're playing, but we're a good team.
Coach, I rode the Aztec train last year all the way to the Connecticut game. You guys provided so much energy and excitement for San Diego and the little guy, but you got to give love to your man, Jamal Franklin. What is this game all about?
Vic, Jamal really had a storybook season and a 2-year college career. I tried to talk him into redshirting last year as a freshman, and I think his ego got in the way of it. It might have been the best thing that he could have done, but he said, no, I don't want to do it. And I said, well, what if you don't play? He says, I'll be your best practice player. I'll make them all better. And he revamped his shot, was in the gym with Kawhi when everybody left, and he went from averaging about 2 points a game and 5 minutes a game to being player of the year in our league, and a very, very good basketball player. I'm very proud of what he's done with his game.
This is a younger team than a year ago. Of course, nobody coached a younger team than you. 5 freshmen getting all the way to the NCAA championship game. But sometimes in this tournament, is youth actually a good thing? Maybe less knowledge of what it's at stake in the NCAA tournament?
I'm not so sure of that. I think if you could have your choice, you'd first start with players. How good are my players? I'll take good young players and the not-so-good experienced players. So you got to have players. If you can have a little bit of both. So I like the fact that we've been now into, or as you said, where it's our 3rd in a row. So guys know the routine. They know the mandatory press conferences that get in the way of preparing. They know the open practice that can be chaotic and how you have to prepare. I do believe that will be helpful for you. And yet, when the ball goes up, if you don't have some guys that can compete when the lights shine a little bit brighter, you're going to be in trouble. And I do think that we do. So I'm excited to see how we'll play against a red-hot team right now. North Carolina State's been playing really good basketball.
Talking to Steve Fisher, who knows what it's like to coach guys with big egos. I mean, that's why I like this Franklin kid. Forget about all these rumors about what he did or didn't do, but I like the fact that he's got an attitude about things. I think that's what you need this time of year.
I think, Pat, you have to have a bit of a swagger about you. There's no question about that. Now, the sticky wicket is, how do you manage that? There's that blur
You've had some practice.
of shady gray between walking the line between confidence and conceit. And we got to make sure we walk the line, and it's my job when we stray off of it to get you back on track. But I've always been a guy that I'm not afraid to allow good players to be players.
I saw it.
Coach, you got the at-large love, another sensational season at San Diego State. But, Coach, is there such a thing as momentum going into this tournament, even though you didn't win the conference tournament? Is there such a thing as momentum in this crazy Mambo madness?
I think there is, Vic. We lost for the first time in, I think, 6 years, 3 in a row. And our kids lost a little bit of their swagger. Mm-hmm. And we talked about it. We said, you're the same team that beat Vegas and New Mexico in close, hard-fought games. And they nipped us in two. And then we lose at Air Force when Franklin doesn't play because he's hurt. I said, you're good. You got to know you're good. You got to expect to be successful. So winning that next game when we beat Wyoming was huge for us to get us going again. So we win our last 4 conference games, and then we win 2 in a row in the tournament. So we had a 6-game win streak going into the conference finals when New Mexico beat us, and they played better than we did. But I do think that we feel good about ourselves right now going into the NCAA tournament because of the way we have played lately.
And you got to feel proud about your conference. I mean, Mountain West, 3 schools.
4
schools. I'm sorry. Again, 4 schools.
4 tastes.
And then you've got the Pac-12. Not so good.
Who knew?
I mean, how does that sit with you? Because you've been part of this conference that now you're getting that national respect that obviously you guys deserve.
What happens is you have to schedule non-conference good people, which we've done, and then you have to beat them, which we are now starting to do. And it hasn't been just us. But we had some great wins. We beat both Cal and Arizona. Arizona at their place, Cal here, when both of them early in the season were both rated in the country. And Wyoming and Colorado State beat the Big Ten or the Pac-12 conference tournament champs at Colorado. So we've had some really good wins in our league that now when you come into the league, you build on that momentum. And I'm so happy that we got 4 teams in. And when Colorado State was announced, our kids jumped up and screamed with legitimate excitement that they were in. I think you cheer for the league also. You want to be the last one standing, but you want to see as many get recognized as possibly can.
All right, Coach. Well, you know that we're on your side. We're not supposed to be, but we are. No, we don't care.
Well, I do know that, okay. And I appreciate the fact. I listen to you whenever I can. I some of you I know personally, so I appreciate the fact that you would want me on, and you do treat me like a guy that is not just who is he, where is he, and what does he do. So I appreciate that too. So thank you.
Yeah, you and I have a long history, and it's never wavered. So I
absolutely,
like that
Coach.
All right, Coach. Good luck. We'll be watching. We'll talk to you.
Thank you, gang.
Good luck there.
Aztec Fevio.